The average person is a statue getting shit on by the pigeon, and they'd rather just sit there covered in shit than move. It's very hard to inspire people to take initiative to save themselves. It's incredible. From my position, I can extrapolate out my massive influence, and I can say, well, in my position, surely when I say do something, millions of people should do it. And they do. That's why I'm so monumentally influential. But there's also millions of people who don't. Why? When they know that it's gonna work. Some people are just born to lose. These are people who are betrayed by their own mind and can't be influenced even from the external because their own mind betrays them. There's a devil on their shoulder constantly holding them back.
People want to be constantly motivated. Oh, I don't feel motivated. Listen, if you're not motivated to go to the gym and that has resulted in you being obese, suffering health adversities, you're now damaged your health. On top of that, you're less attractive to female. On top of that, your energy levels are lower. If you really need motivation, just lose weight and live a life worth living. Then there's something wrong with you. I train every single day and I'm never motivated, but I'm disciplined. I never wake up and think, yeah, I want to train. I've been training my whole life. I'm bored of it, but it's something that has to be done, right? So the idea of entertainment, the idea of motivation, these things are completely detrimental to discipline. People come to me all the time and say, how do I get motivated? I say, you don't, you get disciplined. I don't care if you feel like doing X. You must do X or you will stay a loser. So do you want to be a loser or do you want to do X?
And in the world we live in today, where trust is even more important than it's ever been, why you would be prepared to be seen as weak, knowing that people who understand this about the world no longer trust you. Don't you, as a full-grown man, want to be seen as trustworthy? Let's analyze it. You walk in, your heads up, firm handshake. What is that all about? Well, that's about proving and trying to elicit trust. You want to be trusted. That's what business meetings are all about with the firm handshake. You don't give a little soppy handshake for a reason. You don't want to project weakness, because weakness is known universally across all cultures, across all periods of time. Weakness was a bad thing. There has never been, until this modern world, which is of course in bursts, absolutely. There has never been in any period of human history across any culture where weak men were celebrated above the strong men. Ever. It has never been respected. It has never been good. Ever. And you're choosing that team. Why? Because you're tired. Because you're lazy. What does that tell me about you? People come to me all the time with business proposals, not understanding that once I see they're fat, I don't want to talk to them. I don't care how good your idea is. I don't care how smart you think you are. You're fat. You're allowed to be fat if you're old. You're a young fat man. You can't be trusted. How can I trust you with my money if you can't stop putting hot dogs in your own face? If you cannot resist ice cream, you're not trustworthy. How are you going to run a business if you can't run on a fucking treadmill? And the worst thing is these people are prepared to live this way. Anything it takes to avoid the hard work. All the slander, all the jokes, all the bad impressions they give, anything it takes to avoid the hard work. And you come to me to motivate. How the f can I motivate losers like that? What do you want me to say? I gave you a guaranteed win. I gave you a way to make the money. I came on here every day and told you to f***ing work. I kept making the pot of gold closer and closer. No matter how close I dragged it, you just stood there like a dipshit. It doesn't matter how I preach. You losers are losers by design. No matter what situation I put you in, you'll find a way to lose. But there is still a chance left, and you can still save your bloodline. And you'll sit there and go, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then 16 minutes after this stream ends, you're gonna be back on Steam, downloading COD like a dip. Maybe all the poor people who go, I don't want to be poor, I've tried hard, are lying. And if you get to know these people, they're not even nice people. And they snake their friends, and they lie, and they cheat, because good people who work hard seem to always win. By logical extension, anyone who has not won is not a good person who works hard. Somewhere along the line, there's something wrong with you. And most people aren't trying. They aren't trying. They don't know what trying is. In fact, that's probably one of the things I hear the most. Oh, I'm trying. No, you're not. You don't know what trying is. No, you are not trying. I know you're not. I know, because as we sat here before we went to speak, you weren't on your phone working. You weren't trying. You were standing around talking shit to some idiot. You're not trying. People are genuinely not out here giving their absolute best, because if you were, you'd have everything you've ever desired. You'd have anything you've ever wanted and asked for. Instead, what people do is they cope, convince, oh, I tried. I need a work-life balance. It's hard, and all garbage, all cope. And like I said earlier, life is war. If you're a man and you don't view the world as war, I can't imagine how you view the world. My entire worldview is war. Life is war. This idea that you can go through life as a man and avoid war is probably the biggest mistake that most men make. Running a business is war. Trying to find a way to escape your slave job is war. Training to become stronger than before is war. Keeping your wife happy and your children inspired is war. Everything about life as a man is war. It is conflict because you are competing against the other men who want it the same. Everything I desire, other men are trying to get. This is a war and I must outcompete them. While others complain that they do not feel happy enough, I'm happy I'm struggling. Do you understand?
It's going to be a dogfight. I would love to tell you that on the road to success, everything is going to work out. It's going to be a dogfight. It hadn't been easy. It hadn't been, the road hadn't been success. Like, it's just a paved road. And like each he go this way, it's been rough. It's been hard. But I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. The only way I lose is if I quit. And so if you're ready to quit, then don't get started.
You have to love the chaos. You have to love the war. You have to love the idea of all the constant problems you have to fix. You have to love the center of a mini-verse you have created. It's going to implode under its own gravity if you're not there doing constant Aikido. That's how kings have always felt. If you're looking for calm and peace, you won't matter. The better you are at dealing with stress, the more successful you will be, because as you climb up the ladder, the stress level, the more money you're paid, the more important you are, the bigger your problem. But as you get bigger and larger, the pressure is heavier and heavier. So you're going deeper in the ocean. As you go deeper in the ocean of success, the pressure around you gets stronger. Only the strongest submarines can make it to the bottom.
You say you wanted to be great, son. You say you wanted to travel the world. You say you wanted to help people inspire. Hey, you gotta be dying. And if you soft, this ain't that you want to get out now. The thing we covered the most, man, for a diamond to be produced, it must first go through extreme heat, extreme pressure. You hear what I'm telling you? For a diamond to be produced, it has to go through extreme pressure. If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond.
If you concern yourself only with being happy, you are once again acting like a female or a child. I want to be happy. Who cares? I want to be great. Would you rather be a loser who's always smiling, or would you rather be a stressed winner? So you have to sit here and ask yourself, do you want to be a happy loser that's insignificant? Nobody knows you exist. Women don't respect you. Nobody cares if you live or die, but you get to smile all the time. Or do you want to be one of the most important people on the planet with a little bit of stress?
It's also very interesting if we're going to analyze it from a metaphorical perspective, where if you're a man in the middle and you don't have the light yet, often you'll find the light by jumping into the dark. The deeper you go, if we imagine, let's imagine the yin and the yang, let's imagine there's the line in the middle and you have the light and you have the dark underneath it. If you're standing in the middle, the deeper you'll dive into the dark, it's like coiling a spring. The higher you'll bounce back into the light. This is also why I became successful in the first place, because I've always been capable of fighting and going through pain and dedicating myself and doing difficult things and having hard things happen to me and being emotionally regulated. I don't want the comfort. I want the challenge. I'm looking for the journey. So no matter what bad is happening to me, part of me is always going to sit there and detach myself from myself and analyze it from the third person and say, wow, fantastic. This is going to be a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for you to prove yourself to yourself and prove yourself to everybody else and prove yourself to God. And I think that that's what's truly appealing about life for me. And
if you were to say to me, Andrew, you have to complete this monumental task. You have to conquer the world. I would say, okay, but I need an emotional motivation to do that. I need to be unhappy having not completed that. I need to be uncomfortable, right? If you're uncomfortable being out of shape, you'll get in shape. If you're happy being out of shape, then you're just going to stay out of shape, right? So if you feel a degree of uncomfortableness inside of your mind, I think it's just your mind telling you that something about your life needs to change. You need to get up and change something. Guys would say to me, I'm depressed because I'm fat and I have no girlfriend. And I'd say, no, you have no girlfriend and you're fat and that's why you're depressed. If you go change those two, you'd probably be surprised that your disease goes away. I had another guy say he was going to kill himself. I said, listen, make me a promise, get a six-pack first, get in fantastic shape and then do whatever. He didn't want to kill himself once he was in fantastic shape.
So he did it?
Yeah. I have the before and after. I'll put him on Twitter. Kind of interesting, isn't it? So how are we going to say we have this disease, which is cause and effect? How are we going to say we have this disease where there's something wrong with you as a man, you have a disease because your life sucks? I mean, I don't think that's true. I think that your life just sucks and you should change it.
You have to take complete and utter accountability for everything. Can't make excuses ever.
Yeah.
There's never an excuse. People try and put things on the outwards on the outside. And if you're going to be the guy and you're going to allow life to happen to you and you're not going to happen to life, then you're at mercy of the wind. Perhaps it might work out okay, but it might not, right? So you have to be the guy who goes, okay, the wind's blowing in this direction. I'm doing this. You have to come to life. You can't let life come to you. Because if you let life come to you, then you're going to be living inside of a matrix and a system which is designed not for you to live your best life. This is the beauty of life as a man. Nothing better than blaming yourself for absolutely everything that's ever happened to you, waking up and realizing it was all your fault and you're the only one who can fix it. This is so applicable to nearly any problem in your life.
You can only have two things in life, reasons or results. Notice, reasons don't count. Folks will always point out reasons on why they're not living their dream, on why they're not manifesting their greatness. They will always be able to point those things out, but none of those things count. The only thing that counts are results, and results don't lie, ladies and gentlemen.
Results. Every once in a while, you got to take a measure, see how you're doing. What is the results at the end of the day, the results at the end of the week? Can't let too much time go by without checking.
They tell it all. Judge a tree by the fruit that it bears, not the ones that it might talk about, not the ones that it might wish for, but the fruit that it actually bears.
6 years I'd been out there working when I met my teacher. Michelle said, well, Mr. Rohn, let's just go through a little summary here. Said, in the last 6 years, how much money have you saved and invested? I said, what? 0. He said, you have messed up. He said, who sold you on that plan? I thought, my gosh, the man's right. I'm a nice guy. I bought the wrong plan. He said, how many books have you read in the last 90? I said, what? 0. Wisdom of the world available? Change your life, change your future, develop any skill you want, earn the kind of income you want. Haven't read any book in the last 90 days. My teacher said, Rohn, you have messed up. I'm telling you, you've got the deal. He said, you don't need to unmess the country. You don't need to straighten out the perplexed. You don't need to straighten out any of this stuff. All you've got to do is look within and let results teach you a great deal about your own activity, your own attitude, and your own philosophy. Take this phrase home. Results is name game. What other game is it?
So let us look. I think that all of us are committed, but I think that some of us are producing results in our lives that level of commitment brings that we particularly don't like or find distasteful. I don't think that as a participant in life, you cannot be committed. You're either committed to mediocrity or you're committed to greatness. See, whatever you're doing, however you spend your time, that tells you who you are. So think about what it is you like to create in your life experience. Once I look at how you commit your time, I can tell you exactly what you're committed to. People that say they have dreams or want to open a business or want to do something differently than what they're now doing, they don't like their jobs, they're unhappy, they're unfulfilled. People who say they want to improve their income level, look at how they spend their time. How they spend their time, the commitment of their time, how they use that will really tell the truth. People who said, I'd like to do better, but you don't find them in vocational or technical schools upgrading their skills and their knowledge. People who say they want to normalize their weight, they want to be healthy, but every time you see them, they're eating. That will tell you that they're committed to being obese for the rest of their lives. People tell you they want to stop smoking and they're lighting up at that time. Folks that say, I want to stop drinking, and every time you're in their face, they're reeking with alcohol. That will tell you what's going on. Don't have to listen to what they say. Just watch what they do. Commitment shows up in your life in what you do. On the other hand, you can make the commitment to your life that you don't like the results that you have and that you're going to do something about it. See, that power is available to all of us.